Good morning, class. Today I will be presenting my presentation on 4 antibiotic use. I'm in group number 3, and my members consist of Avianna Hernandez, Cynthia Avendano, Gerardo Estrada Quezada, Kaitlin Murrell, and Theresa Cardella. The history behind using antibiotics began in 1950 when news came out from a New York laboratory that adding antibiotics to livestock feed increased the animal's growth and was even cheaper than other livestock feed supplements. In 1951, the FDA approved the first antibiotic use in animal feed based on studies that proved to help chickens, pigs, and livestock gain weight. Farmers and scientists alike were amazed by how well it worked, and they knew that this was a key to keeping severe protein shortages in the past. The reason antibiotics were even introduced to animal feed in the first place was because farmers could not keep up with the growing demand for meat. And as shown today, we still use antibiotics to this day to be able to increase the growth in livestock overall, because as it says here, in the past we had severe protein shortages. So that means farmers weren't able to keep up with the production of all the livestock that they had. And as you can see, there's a picture right here of back in the day when the producers had all their stuff going on there. As said before, they were used to keep up with the growing demand for meat. They were amazed by how well it worked, and up to this day we still use it. Before antibiotics in the feed, there were many food shortages of meat, which meant that the price of meat went up and even less people could eat the proteins they needed. Not everybody could afford the luxury of meat, and nowadays, since it's so widely available, more and more people are able to buy it at competitive prices, and it's better for the economy overall. Some ethical aspects of using antibiotics is it prevents the livestock from having sicknesses and diseases overall. In a herd of cows or anything like that, if one of them gets a sickness, it could potentially infect all the rest of the herd of cows. It also treats the animal when diagnosed with an illness and prevention of disease transmission, like mentioned before. It is safely used, and food safety for the animal and humans starts with healthy animals, which is why antibiotic use is so important. If there's a disease in the animal when they are raised, and then when they are used for food, for protein, for us, the disease could be transmitted through the meat and could potentially harm us as well. So if we have a healthy animal, we have healthy people as well. Some more ethical aspects that we have here is consumers also believe that they are eating the antibiotics in their food, but in reality the farmer keeps the animal out of the food supply until the drug is out. So I can see there's many myths that people believe, but the truth is that they don't put the animals out in the market till the drug is out of their system. And this is the best thing for livestock animals because it keeps them safe, and it helps them grow, and it prevents harm being done to them. Cultural and sociological importance. Estimated population growth by 2050 surpasses 9.8 billion. And it says that the estimated protein demand will increase by 60%, meaning more people means more food, means we need more production. The loss of produce increases the price, pretty much self-explanatory. Approximately 20% of livestock are lost yearly due to fixable diseases. Antibiotics not only help them in growth, but as mentioned before, they also help them combat diseases. And the less diseases these animals have, the more they are able to reproduce and the more livestock we have. Eliminating access to antibiotics risks ability to produce healthy and safe products. They are only allowed with veterinary oversight, So as you can see, not just any typical farmer will just go inject their animals. They have professional veterinarians looking over these animals and making sure everything goes as planned. Antibiotic use, it keeps mortality levels low and prevents a loss. It says 2.2 billion a year is lost with the death of produce. So there's a lot of money that's lost because animals either die or stuff they don't make it without these antibiotics that help them out, that prevent these diseases from going on. Some current events that may be going on and stuff like that from nowadays is that the antibiotics are also good for human use in combating diseases, and veterinarians also obviously use it for livestock. And banning or severely restricting the use of antimicrobials in animals may negatively impact a veterinarian's ability to protect animal health and prevent suffering from disease, which can lead to poor animal welfare. Now, this was directly from a news article right here. And it mentions that by using antibiotics, you're protecting the animal's health and preventing from suffering from disease. Animals, they don't rely on each other to cure each other's diseases. They rely on us, and we need to be there to make sure they're healthy and they're able to live their life without suffering from any disease. Some more stuff that goes on is that antibiotics are used for the defense of bacteria that goes from one animal to the next, and scientists mention that the more we use antibiotics in animals, the less likely bacteria is to spread to other animals. And this was recently on another news article that mentioned that the antibiotics that we use they do promote health, and they also promote growth as well. But the more animals that we have healthy out in our farms and out anywhere else, the more protein we're able to have, the less money losses we're gonna be able to have, and the healthier these animals are able to live with each other out in those environments. Knowledge of some of antibiotics. What kind of antibiotics are used? Tetracyclines, penicillin, streptomycin, and bactrician. Oh well, there's a lot of them right here. Pretty much these are the most common antibiotics that are used. As you can see, there's a lot of them that we use as well, not only just for animals. What percent of antibiotics are given to animals? About 80% of the livestock in the United States are fed by antibiotics. Why are antibiotics good for animals? The antibiotics used on animals help to keep them healthy, which leads to keeping food healthy. When sick livestock are left untreated, they have a bigger environmental impact than those who are healthy. So as you can see, livestock that are left untreated, they could potentially risk the other animals that are around them, and potentially even cause death in most of them. Livestock that are treated with antibiotics can have 4% to 5% more body weight and also live longer than those who do not receive antibiotics. So as you can see, the antibiotics are very beneficial to the animals, giving them a longer life, keeping them free from diseases, keeping them healthy, and just better overall for the animal. The benefit to food safety. The safety of food starts with animals that are healthy. It then continues to the harvesting of good sanitation and hazard analysis. It then expands to food product in both market and at home. If any of these steps are skipped, it can lead to foodborne illnesses. This is why antibiotic use is important. How many times have you heard of somebody getting food disease, or they get food poisoning or stuff like that? Sometimes it starts from the source, which is the farms where they keep these animals. They need to keep them clean. They need to give them good sanitation. They need to give them antibiotics to keep these animals healthy. Because once they reach our market, to our supermarkets, we go and shop and we see these meats, we think automatically, oh, they're healthy, this and that. Then you eat them, and then sometimes, turn out they're not. But that's because sometimes they have unhealthy animals that cause that. So by using antibiotics, we keep these animals healthy and in check in order for us to be consuming healthy food. Here's an opinion that we as a group came up with. Not using antibiotics in cattle can lead to negative impacts. Antibiotics that are used in cattle are used for specific reasons. They help prevent disease, help with the treatment of diseases, and also help the animals grow faster. As mentioned before, not using the antibiotics can really hurt an animal in lots of ways. Many people think that antibiotics are a bad thing, but technically they're a good thing. We use antibiotics in our everyday life to combat diseases, infections, and animals get diseases and infections as well. They get sick, they get illnesses, and those illnesses hurt the animal a lot more than they know, more than we know. It does help the animals grow faster, which is very beneficial to us as well. The more animals we have, the more food we have available to the market. The more the animals are able to reproduce as well, and they grow larger in numbers. As we've seen, there has been a decrease. If there's no antibiotics used, there is a decrease in the population overall, and there is also a decrease in monetary value as well. We lose billions and billions of dollars because of this. And animals, just like humans, are also not immune to bacteria. So antibiotics should be used to keep the animals healthy and not let them suffer. Would you really want to see an animal suffering, sick all the time, laying down all the time? Or, if you use antibiotics, you give the animal a healthy life, give him a longer life as well. And not only that, they grow to be healthy, and also for us, it's very beneficial. Gives us a sense of security when these animals are treated with antibiotics. When we go to the supermarkets, buy these meats, buy this produce, just like when you go to a steakhouse, you expect the meat to be clean, you expect the meat to be healthy, came from a healthy animal. Companies like Harris Ranch, Foster Farms, they need to make sure that their animals are clean, well maintained. Make sure the diseases don't spread to the other animals. Spreading to the other animals could be very, very, very bad for production, for them reproducing, and it could also be bad for us as humans and prevent diseases in us as well. And that'll be all for today. I appreciate for listening to my PowerPoint, and I thank you very much, and you guys all have a wonderful day. Thank you.